What's happening, YouTube family? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. Good morning, YouTube family. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. If you're up, if you're not up yet, wake up. It's time to grind. We are in Baltimore at the Port of Baltimore to pick up our load this morning. Got here about 7:30. It's now 8:45. Got to the place where I was supposed to pick up my load, and they told me that it wasn't actually there, it was at a different place. So I had to go to a different building to check in, wait in line all over again. But luckily, the place they told me to go, that was it. So now we're checked in the proper place. Now we're just waiting in line to be next for the forklift to come get us loaded. So once I get loaded, I'll get back with y'all. All right, guys, so we got loaded finally after waiting forever. They couldn't figure out it was supposed to be 2 crates or 3 crates, and then come to find out it was only 1 crate. So we finally got everything figured out. They're super busy. They finally got a forklift over here to me. You know, I pulled up and I immediately see all these crates over here. You know, I'm like, I don't know about all this. You know, they didn't tell me any of them was this big. Well, lo and behold, behind that big crate up there right in front, there was this little tiny crate. You know, it was supposed to be a lot bigger, but here's my load. This little itty bitty box, 8 feet long, 1.5 feet tall, 1,000 pounds. So I can't be disappointed. You know, I thought it was going to be longer. At least they said it was. And so now I'm getting paid a good rate for this little box. So we're going to go ahead and get on the road and head up to Jersey. See y'all in a little bit. All right, guys, so we got up here to Williamstown, New Jersey. We got empty up here at this equipment spot. They repair and everything. That blue piece right there is actually what the crate is going to, some parts to for the catwalk on that thing. So now we're empty. We were supposed to go over to Fort Dix to get another load, but they just called me back and said that it's actually not going to be ready until in the morning. So I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, and I'm going to grab me a hotel, and we'll hit it back in the morning to pick that load up, which takes us to Pennsylvania, over on the 81 side, Pennsylvania, and not too far from home. So we'll be able to drop that and pick our next load up tomorrow afternoon. So I will get back with you guys in the morning at Fort Dix. All right, so we are still up here in Jersey. We got to the gate at Fort Dix right at 6 o'clock when they opened. Waited outside for about 25 minutes for them to let us in to check in, and lo and behold, check in, and the building that I'm supposed to be picking up at didn't answer the phone. So since they didn't answer the phone, they can't let me in until they get a hold of the point of contact. So it's myself and another driver of a semi that's here. We're both going to the same building, so we right now are suffering the same fate as far as the hurry up and wait game of military bases. So we are going to try to continue to call this place, because they said, you know, if we can get in contact with them, we can just come back in and put the phone on speaker, and they say, you know, yeah, they're good to come in, and then we can go to the next step of getting our truck inspected and all that good stuff. So we're going to continue to try to call these people, see if we can get an answer so we can get in, get our load, and hit the road. So we're not waiting here forever. So once we get loaded, I'll get back with you guys. Hopefully it's not too long, because I'm trying to hit the road. I'm not trying to waste time. So see you guys in a little bit. Okay, we had a little hiccup at Fort Dix this morning. We got there, the point of contact didn't answer the phone, so because of that, they said that we had to wait, but we couldn't wait in the parking lot at Fort Dix, so I had to leave the base, then come back. I just kind of made a U-turn and sat outside of the base until I got a hold of the point of contact. Finally got a hold of them, got checked in, got loaded. This is what we got loaded with. It's just some empty containers, 22 of them to be exact. When they got them on there about halfway, they figured out that loading them that way, it wasn't all going to fit, so we had to turn them to the side so that they all would fit. But we are now here in Mechanicsburg. We're going to get unstrapped, get our straps and everything put away, get unloaded, and hopefully it's quick so I can get to my next one, because I got another pickup from one of my customers for tomorrow. So once I get everything unstrapped and put away, I'll get back with you guys. All right, so we made our drop in Mechanicsburg. Even though, you know, we got the whole mix up and everything, had to wait up there in Fort Dix. The load was 40 feet long, but it was only 2,600 couple pounds. So real light load, so I was able to make good time getting to Mechanicsburg. Luckily, when I got to Mechanicsburg, there was an escort already there that was going to the same place that I was going. She was escorting another truck there, so I didn't have to wait or go into the building to hand my paperwork in. She signed it right there, and I followed her. Unload was relatively quick, so we got out of there in pretty good time, and now we're back at one of our customers for pick up a load, preload for tomorrow, that has 2 stops down in Richmond. So all in all, last 2 days were pretty good. You know, ran a nice light partial up to Jersey, and then had a return load from Jersey. So I'm satisfied. You know, even though that load coming out of the port was smaller than what it was supposed to be, it was originally always a partial. But, you know, when I had talked to the broker, I told them that I wasn't going to run it as a partial. So therefore I wasn't going to accept partial money. And the reason being is, me personally, if it is a same day delivery or next day delivery, I don't consider that a partial, because 9 times out of 10 I'm already empty when I'm booking that load, so I don't have time to find anything else. So therefore, to me, it's not a partial. You know, they were still trying to run it as a partial, so I said, okay, no thank you. And about 15 minutes later, they called me back and said, hey, what do you need to make this work? So I told them my rate, and that's what I got. So I got a pretty good rate for that, you know, 100-mile trip. You know, so like I always say, you know, don't sell yourself short, especially on some of these partials. You know, a lot of these brokers want to run things as partials, and you know, to try to save some money or make some more money on their, you know, on their end. So always remember that, you know, there's no reason that you have to run partials for partial money all the time. Sometimes you can get better money, you know, than what you expect. All you got to do is ask. So I wanted to address one of the questions, or a couple of questions that I've had. It's really the same question, but it is getting asked a couple times. And a lot of people ask me about my, since I did hit a lot and being local, you know, what my rate is for all miles traveled. So one thing I keep in mind, since I am local, since I did hit a lot, you know, is I keep that in mind when I'm factoring in my rates. With my customers, it's not that big of a deal, because I get, you know, good rates from my customers, and I normally get what I ask for when they ask me to move a load. you know, but with brokers, especially the ones that I don't really work with a lot, or if it's a new broker that I'm working with, sometimes it's a little harder, but I just stand my ground on what my rate is. So normally, the past, you know, couple years that I've been doing this, I think my first year was the first year or the only year that I was under $2 a mile per all miles. The 3 years after that, I've been either at $2 or just above $2 a mile per all miles traveled. You know, so even though I did hit a lot of times the rate is good enough that, you know, if I'm only going a couple hundred miles, you know, I'm still going to make a decent rate on that load, even if I did hit back, you know. So like I said, I try to keep that in mind, since I am local, since I did hit a lot, try to keep that in mind when I'm factoring in that rate. You know, so I think the national average, the last time, it's been a few years since I looked it up, but it's something like $1.32 for flatbed. For all miles traveled is normally what, you know, the national average for the profit is. So, you know, if you're making over $1.32 a mile per all miles traveled, you're over average, you know, you're above average. So, you know, when you're factoring in your rates, that might be something you can look at, you know, once a quarter or something like that, to see what everything adds up, you know, per mile, per all miles traveled, you know, and that'll show you maybe you need to up your rates a little bit, or maybe you're fine where you're at if you're happy where you're at. But I just wanted to answer that question, since it gets asked a lot. You know, I didn't want to make it seem like I was just forthing off the, you know, just ignoring the question. But yeah, so we're got a nice long line ahead of us for our customer to get loaded. So I'm just going to sit here and wait, twiddle my thumbs, figure out something to do. So hope you guys are having a good day, and as always, stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.